Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and yeah, I hope you guys are doing very well. So today we are doing a full face of the Beauty Crop, and they are a brand that I have loved for a really long time. I remember first discovering them when they came to Superdrug. I think it was about 5-6 years ago when they had their really old packaging, and I used to rave about their palettes like non-stop. They had like cocktail style themed eyeshadow palettes. I'll put up some pictures here if I can like find any, but I was like obsessed with the brand, and since then they've been kind of growing and changing. And recently I was kind of given like a £40 gift voucher. I think I mentioned this in my kind of like PR haul slash purchase video that I did recently. I think I showed you guys everything that I had. If not, I'll just do a quick recap, because today there are some things that I have already gotten before that I'm going to use, but let's just show you guys what I have, because I have like a little box worth of things. So the first thing that I'll show you guys is the Perfect Matcher set. So this is a green color play set. So this contains a lip oil, a setting powder, and a melting lip balm, like a pH lip balm. And I really wanted to try this because of the whole kind of like green against redness theory. So I know that Huda Beauty has just kind of come out with like the green like setting powder, and also I think Laura Mercier has done it as well. I don't think it's a new thing at all, but Beauty Crop have got like their version. I've got to mention, when I ordered this stuff, they also had a massive sale on, like a big discount, which stuff was like £2-3, £5. I think this set was about £5, and I also used my affiliate code. It worked, which was pretty interesting. So if you ever want to buy anything from Beauty Crop, my information is in the description. So that was the first thing that I chose. The next thing that I chose was a body mist. So this is the Colada Days, and I actually want to give this a smell now because I really want to see if it smells anything like the Sol de Janeiro setting spray, because NYX Professional Makeup have just come out with some like body care, and they have like a hair body mist, and that is exactly the same smell. So let's see if I give it a couple of... Oh, okay, it doesn't smell the same, but it does smell of like pina coladas, which is essentially like coconut and like very refreshing, like pineapple juice and stuff like that. That's really nice, and I guess this type of smell is like a smell that I favour over everything else because of how sweet it is. But yeah, that's pretty pleasant. So the next thing that I have, which I'm going to use today, is the Plumping Lip Stain. This is their Weightless Wonder. It's one of their more recent releases. So this is in the shade Game On. Next we have the Serum Foundation. So this is their, again, Weightless Wonder as part of that whole little series. And yeah, it's a serum foundation in the shade Oat Latte. And again, I will be using this today because I have tried one of their foundations before, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, so I have high hopes for this. Next we have a concealer, which I did remember mentioning it in my haul video, that this is not the same kind of, like it wasn't released around the same time. This is a bit older. So this is the Dewy Bounce Concealer. So this has got their green lid on it, and I'm pretty sure the Weightless Wonder version is more this style packaging than this one. I don't know if they came out with a foundation or a skin tint for this, but this was like a couple of pounds, so I couldn't say no. Next thing I have is the Pore Filter Blotting Powder. I have a mini version of this that I got part of the advent calendar, so I did do an unboxing for the advent calendar it must have been December, because that's when all the advent calendars were coming out. But yeah, this was again like £2, and I really like the mini. And then we have 2 items left. So this is the Brow Friends Forever. So this is a clear brow wax. I have tried this before. It was a mini version, but now I've got the full size because again it was only a couple of pounds. And then the last thing that I have, which I will use today, is a liquid eyeshadow in the shade, I think it's in Cherie Noir, which is part of their like little set that came out, which has like a ton of stuff like skincare and a lot more makeup. So yeah, that was everything that I got with my voucher. So let's put on some makeup. So I actually want to start off with the lip balm because I'm really intrigued to see if it will kind of do anything to my lips. So yeah, this is in the shade Green Apple, and it is a pH changing one, and it is a clicking one, so I'm not going to roll it up too much because you won't be able to roll it down. So let's see if this does anything. Oh, it smells so nice. It smells just like apples, like sweet apples. So, oh, okay, I'm not going to put too much on because I'm not the biggest fan of putting like lip products on before kind of other lip products because I don't want them to kind of mess up. But that is super hydrating. I wouldn't say there's a massive color change. It seems to be like there is like a little bit of a tint, but nothing too crazy. Okay, so let's go on to primer. So this was actually something that I got part of the advent calendar. So this is the airbrush primer, part of the Weightless Wonder family, and I have tried this quite a lot. So this is meant to be for was it all skin types? So it's got cucumber water, and enriched with caffeine. I know caffeine is meant to be quite plumping. I think so. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure caffeine is there meant to kind of like give your skin a bit more of a boost. And this is super softening. So I believe when I first got this part of the advent calendar, it wasn't out yet. So they did have also a setting spray, which I don't think I've tried yet. I think it's still like in the packet because I still have like so many things that I am testing out constantly. That the stuff that obviously I have new, I just kind of keep them somewhere safe so I can actually use them. But yeah, this is a primer that's very hydrating, and it becomes quite like it sinks really well into my skin. So while that settles down, let's go onto the brow. So like I mentioned, I have tried this before. So this is the Brows Friend Forever. I said it really slowly because I know that I would mess it up. So I believe this is just a clear brow gel. They did have some other versions, like actual like tinted ones, but the bristles are very different from what I remember. I'm pretty sure the smaller one had a different brush. But let's get these through my brows. And my brows are obviously still quite crazy. I do trim them, and I do try my best to like maintain them, but they're just not at the top of my priority when it comes to my face, I guess. But brows are still obviously a big part of my face, and I still try my best to do something. But yeah, the brow gel is pretty nice. It sticks down really well, and I think it will dry down quite quickly if I remember rightly. So yeah, the other one I did get rid of because it was a bit of an older product. I did get it I think with one of the Beauty Crop's last sales, because like I mentioned, they constantly have like a sale on, which I'm always quite intrigued about, because this brand, even on their like TikTok shop and stuff, they constantly have stuff which is like £2, £1.50, and this and that. And I'm like, how are you guys still like running as a business? But they're constantly coming out with stuff as well. So I guess that might counterbalance it. So let's go on to the serum. So yeah, this is in the shade Oat Latte, like I mentioned. The sticker is right at the top, which I hate so much because I couldn't take it out the bottom. It's totally fine. So this, it also has caffeine. So like I mentioned, part of the same family. It's got caffeine. It's got squalene, so it's a lightweight emulsion. I don't know if that's the right word, with antioxidant properties that help skin feel hydrate and supple. And yeah, penethanol, which helps moisturize, soothe, straighten the skin's barrier. Yeah, I mean, I've not really seen anyone talk about this because, again, I do follow a lot of people who occasionally talk about Beauty Crop, but I've not seen anyone wear the foundation, like test it out and stuff. So I thought, you know what, let me give it a try, because I mentioned before that one of their last foundations I did not like at all. I don't know what it was. It just didn't mesh well with my skin. So let's go on to this. And like I said, I've got the shade Oat Latte. This is quite an interesting packaging because it's like a squeezy packaging. So let's see if it makes a difference with a sponge, because at the moment, I'm preferring to use a sponge over a brush. So let's tap this in, and let's hope. I did get a really light shade because, again, I can't shade match myself that well online. I know a lot of websites have like, oh, use this app to kind of, you know, shade match yourself, but I just don't really trust it. So I tend to go for something much lighter than I need, and then just work with like a concealer or work with like a bronzer. I don't have a bronzer anymore. I used to have one of the juicy pots. They're like really tiny ones, but I think I got rid of it because I had it for a really long time. So far, this is doing fine. The coverage is not completely there. Like, you can really see a lot of my like redness coming through, and I don't think this is meant to be like a big coverage. I don't know if the box says anything. Let's have a look. Again, don't have my glasses, so let's see. So this is a medium buildable coverage. That's totally fine. I mean, especially for this like summertime, not autumn, the summer and the springtime. I personally want something that's not too heavy because I want my skin to breathe, and I tend to sweat quite a lot, so I don't want my foundation to separate and it look horrible, because when I work I always do like 9-hour days, and also traveling to work and traveling home, it ends up being like a whole 12-hour day, and I really want my foundation to kind of work. And this seems like coverage wise is okay. I do have my fan on because it is extremely warm. It's very humid today and I think it might rain. I hope so. I got slightly sunburnt yesterday when I was at work because I was working outside, and yeah, it was not pleasant. But anyway, this seems to be doing fine. It is a nice coverage. Again, it is medium buildable, and I'm not going to add any more because I don't maybe want it to get a bit cakey, and I think shade wise is totally fine. I am obviously a pale girl, and I do have my concealer to try. So let's just keep tapping this in and then we'll move on to the concealer. Okay, so a bit of a close-up. That's looking fine. You can obviously tell that it's much lighter than my actual skin tone, but it's fine. I will be using obviously some blush and highlighter next. So let's go on to concealer. So again, we have the Dewy Bounce Radiant Concealer, and this is in the shade Custard. So let me have a look at the doe foot, because I think oh yeah, it's just a little flat one. That's totally fine. Let's take it more and then do any kind of redness. Like my spots are kind of here and there at the moment, but to be honest, my diet is terrible, so I need to kind of sort that out, and obviously my skin will hopefully sort itself out afterwards as well, so I only have myself to blame. But in this type of weather, my skin is very up and down, so that's why summer and spring isn't always like my favorite kind of seasons. But I'm hoping that it's not going to be too insane, because again, when it comes to the UK weather, it's either really hot, or it's humid, or it's kind of a bit in between. Like, there might be a bit of a storm here and there, which if there is one, I am looking forward to it because I can't wait. I love a bit of storm and rain. But yeah, the concealer it's okay. It's not really done much for my under eyes. I mean, I still feel like I can see some darkness under my eyes because I mean, my sleeping pattern is very here and there because I have a toddler, and so I get prominent under eye bags, look quite deep. I think this side is a bit more deeper than here. It's okay. Coverage wise, it's not the best. I think it's dried up quite quickly. Hasn't really covered here. I'll have to give it a go on maybe another foundation, maybe a bit more, and something that's a bit more full coverage to see if it will actually do a bit more. So let's go on to blush, and this is a bit of an older product. So this is the Glow Milk Blush. This is in the shade Peach, not Peach, but Peach Blossom. So this is a cream blush, and I believe when I first got this, I think I got it for like £2. Again, always keep an eye out on the Beauty Crop website because they always have some type of sale on, and honestly the products are worth it. They're obviously worth like a bit more than £1.50, but if you can get something for a bargain, completely go for it. And I really like the cream blushes. They have quite a few shades, and I feel like this is a bit of a deeper peach than what I would normally go for. Like, the peach itself is really nice, and you know, I do prefer like a more kind of like terracotta shade, and you know, like a bit more of a red. But when I saw that this shade was something a bit different, I was like, yeah, let's give this a go. And I do like it. It's just quite buildable more than anything else. So let's go on to highlighter slash a bit more of a blush. So this is in the shade Glistening, and it's the Luminous Powder Blush, but it's a shimmer. So I feel like these work really nicely on top of each other. And we're just going to take a tiny amount. We're not going to go too crazy because I feel like the luminosity of it will just make it a bit more popping. So I kind of put it on top and it looks quite nice. I have tried quite a lot of their blushes. They did have a pot version like the bronzer. I think they're called like Juicy Pots. They were like this big and they were really cute and they had some absolutely gorgeous shades. But I had them since they came out and I had to get rid of them because there's nothing worse than keeping expired makeup, and I am really bad at keeping makeup because I just for some reason can't let go of them. But I know now, because I've had quite a few issues with my eyes and stuff, that I should just get rid of them. It's not worth it. But yeah, those are much older products, but they're still pretty good. So let's go on to liquid eyeshadow. And I don't really have many eyeshadow products by Beauty Crop anymore because they just don't really come out with a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I know part of their We Cherie line, which was also in their advent calendar, they came out with like a mini eyeshadow palette. And obviously part of the main line, they came out with a bigger one, which is super cute. The colours are like right up my street, but I don't need it right now. So that's why I picked up this, because again, I think it was like a couple of pounds. So yeah, this is the Glow Milk liquid eyeshadow and it's a nice shimmer red. So I want to be quite careful with it because I don't want to make a mess. So that's why I've got a brush today, because I want to just apply it to the brush and then work it from there. And yeah, the doe foot is quite big, so I'm not really going to use the doe foot straight onto my lid because it will just look atrocious. But obviously you can use matte shadows or any other type of shadows when you put this on, but I'm just kind of using this to show you guys what they look like, because I have a few that I actually haven't tried because I got them part of the advent calendar. But yeah, this is super cute. Wow, very pigmented. So I'm just being really careful because I know that as soon as I kind of over blend it, it will look a mess, and I think these would dry up quite quickly, so I'm going to work a bit fast. Okay, so I haven't made a complete mess, which is not normal for me, but yeah, I think this is quite nice. It is quite buildable, so you do have to work like a bit harder for liquid eyeshadows to work sometimes. This is a little bit patchy, which is not ideal, but shade wise it's stunning. Like, I love shimmer reds because red is just like my favorite shade. But yeah, this is quite nice. I mean, I would probably use it on top of something as opposed to it by itself because yeah, it's just a little bit patchy. So let's end on the lips now. So I'm going to kind of get rid of what I have on here and then we'll move on to the lip stain. Okay, so the lip stain itself, part of the Weightless Wonder family, and this is the Plumping Lip Stain, and this is in the shade Game On. And let's peel this away. I forgot to do that. And yeah, they recently came out with like a ton of shades, and I don't think this is meant to be like for a liner. I think this is okay to wear like everywhere, and then it kind of fades as it goes along. So pray that I don't mess this up, because knowing me, I will. So let's give this a go. Okay, that's really nice. It's starting to plump, so it is not uncomfortable at the moment. It is still just like, it's just tingling, but the shade itself is really nice. I think it's nice for like, well, I was going to say like an everyday, but there's no way that I would put this on every day and then have to tolerate the tingle. That's such a weird thing to say. But it's a gorgeous shade, like the shade Game On. When you're looking at the different shades on the website, they don't always kind of correlate. Like the end look doesn't always come out how it's really should. But I'm not going to keep this on for too long because I don't want it to completely stain, because I'm going to be doing a video after this and I don't really wear stains that often. Oh, I'm getting a bit of a taste at the back of my throat. I don't know if it's because of, I haven't even got any in my mouth. I don't know how that's happened. But yeah, this is actually a really gorgeous shade and this is my finished look. I can say the foundation's actually withstanding quite well on my top lip, because even though I have my fan on, it's not completely the temperature it has been all week. I still get really sweaty there, and it hasn't budged. It really hasn't. Like, I can't see my natural skin underneath. So far that's a win. And looking up here, we're looking fine. Yeah, I think just like it just needs to be buildable a bit more easier, because the concealer, like, again, it doesn't completely work well. But there was a concealer in this kind of set, but I just didn't, it was a bit more expensive, if that makes sense, and I just wanted to try this because it was a bit more affordable, because I was trying to obviously keep within like the £40 range that I had. But it's still nice. Like, the foundation is still really nice. The concealer, I feel like I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I will definitely give it another go soon. I'm not obviously going to write it off. The lip balm is nice. It smells heavenly. So if you like apple scents, then that is perfect for you. It doesn't really give you much of a tint. I think it just kind of hydrates you, which is what it's for. What else is new? The brows, that's fine. The liquid eyeshadow, like I said, is a tad patchy. It's slightly starting to crease, which is not ideal. But again, I will probably give it a go on top of just like a matte powder, because I did just set my lids down with a foundation. So that's probably why it's separating slightly. But yeah, the tint again is really nice. It's just I'm not the biggest fan of like the tingle. It's just pointless. Plumping stuff is just not really for me, but the shade is gorgeous. So yeah, this is my finished look. Let me know what you guys think of Beauty Crop. Have you tried them? Are you going to check them out, because they are super affordable? And thank you so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on any of my social medias, because I'm always active on there, and appreciate you sitting down listening to me ramble on. I hope to see you very soon. Bye guys.